Welcome back to the Natasha Effect. And you know what day it is. It's Monday. And you know what that means. We are reading between the lines again, taking the 48 laws of power and decoding them through the lens of real life, energy, and awareness. Because let's be honest, anyone can read a book, but not everyone can embody it, and not everyone can understand it. That's the difference between knowing power and becoming power. Today we're diving into laws 34 through 36. And these ones, they're all about presence, patience, and perception. Basically, how you move when no one's clapping yet, and what you choose to give your energy to when people start testing that power. So let's start with Law 34. Law 34, be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. A king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. So let's talk about it. This law isn't about being arrogant. It is about self-command and self-respect. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Think about it. When you walk into a room, do you enter it or do you belong in it? Because there is a difference. Royal energy and true power, it's quiet. It doesn't beg to be seen. It knows it will be seen. It's posture, it's presence, it's peace. A lot of peace today. When you respect yourself, you're not constantly chasing validation. You're creating it. You don't seek the throne, you are the throne. You're not seeking the crown, you embody it. Now, I get it. Life tests us sometimes. And the thing is, even when you're unsure, even when you're rebuilding, you can still move like a king or queen in progress. Royalty isn't a title, it's a standard. And once you set the standard, the world adjusts accordingly. Now let's just flow right into Law 35, because once you've learned to carry yourself with power, the next lesson is knowing when to move. Law 35 says, never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know everything will come to you eventually. And Law 35 is essentially saying master the art of timing. Timing is one of the most underused powers that people have. You know, the saying time is money is true. Timing, we live in a culture that glorifies speed, but real power moves more like a rhythm. You ever notice how people who really have it together, they never really look rushed? They take their time. They just exist. They move how they want. They're never in a hurry. They're never trying to be somewhere. And that's because power doesn't panic. Control over time is control over yourself. Sometimes not reacting immediately is the move. And sometimes silence is the seed. So when you're in power, you understand delay isn't denial, it's developmental. And every not yet from the universe is truly building that capacity for what you have coming when you do get that yes. And when you do understand timing, you stop chasing alignment. You're creating it for yourself. You let other people exhaust themselves trying to be seen while you just move and people see you when the time is right. We don't compete for attention. We command it. And that naturally brings us to the next law, number 36, because once you learn to master your timing, the next test of power is learning where not to spend it. And Law 36 says, disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. So by acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him. Now, let's be honest. This one might sting a little because it's easy to forget how much attention costs. I just told you time is money. And we think power is in fighting back, proving ourselves, giving the clapbacks, getting your get back. But the truth, power is in preserving your energy. The moment that you react, you've already shifted from leading to defending, from offense to defense. And that is exactly what people who thrive on chaos want, a reaction. Your silence confuses people. It confuses the people who expect you to explain yourself. Your indifference disarms those who feed off your focus. So here's the real flex. Learning to let go of what doesn't align without needing closure, applause, or revenge. Because at the end of the day, not everything you lose is a loss. And sometimes the best way to win is to keep your peace so protected that it becomes your reputation. And as we wrap up, I just want to say this one specifically, I experienced this firsthand. I don't have the energy to go after my enemies. Karma will get you, and that's it. But between the three we reviewed today, royalty, rhythm, and restraint, there is a through line: emotional control. Because the real game of power isn't out there, it's within. So how do you carry yourself? How do you manage your timing? How do you choose your battles? When you master these three things, you can stop reacting to life and start truly directing it. Again, that was Lost 34 to 36, and honestly, they're a perfect trio. They remind us that true power isn't loud or aggressive, it's very intentional. It's the tone of your voice when you're calm but unshakable. It's the pause before you respond. It's how you hold your standard even when no one's watching. So if this episode hit something within you, share it, send it to a friend who's learning to move in silence, to your sister who's rebuilding her confidence, or to the version of you who needed this reminder. And make sure that you're following the Natasha effect wherever it is that you listen, because next week we're reading between the lines again. And trust me, it only gets deeper from here. So until then, stay grounded, stay graceful, and remember, power is not something you chase. It's something you become.